Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Korea-Colombia International Forum, hosted by Ministry of Education of Korea and Ministry of Education of Colombia. We are pleased to see all of you attending this year's forum. My name is Jinju Lee. I am a program specialist from the Institute of APEC Collaborative Education, and I'm given the honor of being your MC today. Due to the unpredictable rapid changes in the educational environment caused by COVID-19, many students experienced learning deficit and online class were conducted. Along with this, COVID-19 reminded us to the importance of ICT and presented many challenges. At the same time, this provided an opportunity to rethink about the future direction of digital education policy and future education. In response, the Ministry of Education of Korea responded to the changes with the innovative ICT integrated pilot classroom project, which aims to develop the educational environment and prepare the condition of sustainable educational informatization by establishing the ICT classroom in partner countries. This year, ICT classroom was established at Montessori and El Carmen School in Colombia. Accordingly, we would like to share the current status of education policies in the era of digital transformation and discuss the future development direction based on the ICT classroom. This forum has three objectives. The first is to sharing the best cases of ICT classroom utilization from previous partner countries. And the second is to provide the suggestions to proceed the successful project. The third is providing the partner countries' policy and direction for the transformation of digital education. Therefore, through this forum, we hope that beyond sharing the policies and best cases of ICT classroom, we hope that various discussions will be held to promote the future education practices and the educational cooperation between partner countries. Before we begin the forum, I would like to introduce the VIPs who are here with us. They are also connected on the Zoom, and we would like to introduce the participants in the venue first. In the Colombia side, we have Mr. Miguel Suarez. He is an advisor to the Office of the Minister, and he's a leader of the Office of Innovation of the Colombian Ministry of Education. And we have Ms. Adalia Guerlalaiv. She is an education quality leader and the Secretary of Education of Pitalito. And we have Mr. Gabriel Polo. He is the principal of Montessori School in Pitalito. And Mr. Armando Moyano, a principal of El Carmen School in Huasca. Also, we have special guests from Korea. We have Ms. Song Sun-jin. She is a director from Digital Transformation of Education Division, Korean Ministry of Education. And we have Ms. Hwang Ye-sil. She is a deputy director from Digital Transformation of Education Division, Korean Ministry of Education. We have Mr. Shin Sung-chul. He's a lead professional, and also he is a president of Korean Council on Latin America and the Caribbean. And we have Mr. Cha Jung-chan. He is a president of Institute of APEC Collaborative Education. And we have Mr. Chung Deok-keun. He is a chief of Creative Human Resource Education Department from Incheon Metropolitan Office of Education. And we have Mr. Kim Hee-ho. He is a senior supervisor, Creative Human Resource Education Department, Incheon Metropolitan Office of Education. Also, we have a lot of participants joining through online. From Bhutan, we have Mr. Yeshe Lendup. He is a deputy chief from the Ministry of Education of Bhutan. And also, we have Mr. On Kun-rit. He is a principal of Watbo Primary School in Cambodia. We have a guest from Serbia too, Ms. Dragana. She is a principal of Philological High School in Serbia. And we also have special guests from Guatemala. We have Mr. Marco Antonio Tepes. He's a principal of Escuela Normal School in Guatemala. And we have guests from Rwanda. We have Father Faustin. He's a principal of St. Andre's School from Rwanda. And from Bangladesh, we have Mr. Kayas Hossain. He's a Ministry of Education from Bangladesh. Next, we'll begin the forum with the opening remarks. To kick off the forum, we have an honorable guest who is Mr. Na Chu-bom. He's a Deputy Minister of Korean Ministry of Education. He gave us the opening remarks in a video.
안녕하십니까. 대한민국 교육부 차관보 나주범입니다. 한국 콜롬비아 교육정보화 국제포럼 개최를 축하드리며 오늘 온라인과 오프라인으로 참석해주신 모든 교육협력국 귀빈 여러분들께 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 본 포럼의 개최를 적극적으로 지원해주신 콜롬비아 교육부와 첨단 교실 사업 전 과정에 도움을 주신 한국 인천교육청 그리고 인천 리드 선생님들께 감사드립니다. 또한 첨단 교실 활용 우수 사례 공유를 위해 이 자리에 함께 해주신 부탄 교육부 관계자 여러분, 캄보디아, 세르비아, 과테말라, 루안다 첨단 교실 설치학 학교 관계자분들 그리고 본 포럼에 함께하시는 모든 분들을 환영하며 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 오늘 포럼에서는 코로나19 이후 각국의 디지털 교육 정책과 첨단 교실을 활용한 실천 사례를 공유하고 동사업의 향후 발전 방향과 국가 간 협력 방안을 논의할 예정입니다. 팬데믹을 통해 겪은 글로벌 교육 위기와 인공지능 가상 현실과 같은 첨단 기술의 발전은 디지털 교육 전환이 모두를 위한 양질의 교육 제공, 학생들의 미래의 핵심 역량, 함양, 그리고 교육 격차 해소를 위한 중요한 열쇠임을 일깨워 주었습니다. 이에 오늘 이 자리가 각국의 교육 정책 현황과 첨단 교실 우수 사례 공유를 넘어 디지털 대전환 시대에 맞는 새로운 교육의 모습을 논의하는 장이 되기를 희망합니다. 여러분, 한국 교육부는 디지털 기반 교육 혁신을 교육 개혁을 위한 핵심 아젠다로 설정, 적극 추진하고 있습니다. 교육부 내 디지털 교육을 전담하는 국 단위 조직을 신설하였고 인공지능 등 첨단 기술을 활용한 수업 혁신을 준비하고 있습니다. 한국 교육부는 디지털 교육 대전환을 위한 한국의 도전을 국제사회와 끊임없이 공유하고 소통하며 전 세계의 지속 가능한 교육 발전을 지원하겠습니다. 마지막으로 이번 한국 콜롬비아 교육정보화 국제포럼의 성공적인 개최를 기원하며 다시 한번 첨단 교실 사업 전 과정에 힘써주신 모든 분들께 진심으로 감사드립니다. 감사합니다. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, our Deputy Minister. And next, we have the welcoming remarks. And we have our honorable guest, Mr. Miguel Suarez, a leader of Office of Innovation from Colombian Ministry of Education, and he is with us to give his welcoming remarks. Please give warm welcome to him.
Hola, 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 hola. Los lazos de cooperación entre Colombia y la República de Corea tienen más de 70 años. Nosotros nos conocimos en el particular contexto de una guerra. Nuestras naciones, en particular la colombiana, tiene un reto profundo hoy y ha sido una de las metas determinantes de este gobierno, y es lograr consolidar una paz que traiga metas básicas para el desarrollo de la sociedad y para marcar fracturas necesarias: modernidad, desarrollo e igualdad. El camino que ustedes han andado fundamentalmente a través de la construcción de habilidades en capital humano o de externalidades positivas, como lo habla el ministro de Educación, es un camino que nosotros queremos recorrer y una experiencia que nosotros queremos andar junto con ustedes. Esperamos que esos lazos de cooperación que comenzaron hace 70 años en un contexto bélico nos ayuden a consolidar esta mirada de paz total, de paz integral, de desarrollo y de un camino que nos lleve a superar los retos contemporáneos para naciones como las nuestras, que son, entre otras, enfrentarnos a la disyuntiva de construir una sociedad del conocimiento. El ministro de Educación, Alejandro Gaviria, les envía su profundo saludo, al igual que el jefe de despacho del gabinete, Nicolás Ávila, y pues vamos a estar acá acompañándolos. Muchas gracias por su cooperación, muchas gracias por el lazo de amistad y hermandad de la República de Corea con Colombia.
Thank you very much for your warm welcoming remarks. I believe your speech makes this forum more meaningful. Thank you once again. Now we will start the session 1 with the theme of current status and development direction for education informatization policy after a pandemic. If you have any questions regarding the session, please scan the QR code and upload your question. Also, you can see the speaker's presentation file in this QR code. On session 1, we have total 4 speakers from Colombia, Korea, and Bhutan. For session 1, start with Mr. Miguel Suarez. He's a leader of Office of Innovation Colombian Ministry of Education. He's here to talk about the current status and challenges of education informatization policy. And people in the venue, he will be speaking in Spanish, so please put your in-ear for the Korean translation. Please welcome Mr. Miguel Suarez.
¿Tienen la presentación? Si pueden comenzar a rodarla. Bueno, nosotros vamos a incluir un poco una visión del marco de cooperación que nosotros creemos que es posible desarrollar junto con el gobierno coreano, teniendo en cuenta misiones similares que nosotros hemos desarrollado. Si quieres la siguiente. Si quieres la siguiente. Vale, gracias. La República de Corea tiene vamos a centrarnos en 3 aspectos fundamentalmente. La primera es cambiar el pasado. La República de Corea más o menos en 1970 tenía el mismo GDP o el mismo PIB que Colombia el día de hoy, ¿sí? Teníamos además fases de crecimiento similares en ese terreno. Parte del problema que logró resolver la República de Corea en la década de los 70 fue el problema agrario. Y nosotros tenemos un país profundamente fragmentado territorialmente. Es como si tuviéramos 3 naciones y eso se nota también en los indicadores educativos. El país que ustedes observan en rojo es el país atrasado, son las zonas con mayor pobreza multidimensional, ¿sí? Y son las zonas más apartadas del país. Son zonas que son departamentos de frontera, donde tenemos profundo déficit educativo. Y esto es una realidad trágica porque gran parte de nuestra salida hacia el mundo, fundamentalmente en el país del Pacífico, es decir, lo que queda más cercano a la costa asiática, está en grandes cifras de atraso. Es uno de los países más atrasados. Tenemos un segundo país que es el segundo país entre las zonas andinas, que es un país de ciudades intermedias, con un desarrollo medio, que puede calificarse dentro del promedio latinoamericano, y un tercer país, que es el país de las ciudades capitales. Gran parte de resolver estas desigualdades es resolver parte del problema agrario. Nosotros creemos que las salidas educativas tienen que estar enmarcadas también en promover este terreno. Tenemos una dificultad adicional en el sistema educativo colombiano y es que, como está pasando en la mayoría de los países del continente, nosotros tenemos una reducción de las tasas de matrícula. Hemos tenido en los últimos 12 años una reducción de 601,000 estudiantes en el sistema educativo, precisamente porque estamos en tasas de transición demográfica, es decir, nosotros estamos pasando por la cuarta fase de la transición demográfica. Nuestras mujeres dejaron de tener en 1980 2.5 hijos por mujer a llegar a tener en este momento 1.8, y en ciudades capitales como Bogotá a llegar a tener 1.5. Ustedes ya pasaron por este proceso de transición demográfica y saben qué significa hoy. Significan por lo menos tres cosas: que nuestro bono demográfico, es decir, la población a la que tenemos dedicada para la productividad, está fundamentalmente centrada en segmentos más envejecidos de población, sobre todo la población millennial. Y lo segundo es que el sistema educativo en ese sentido tiene que afrontar grandes metas de cobertura en educación superior, porque es ahí donde va a estar el mayor desbalance, y tenemos que transformar ágilmente, ¿sí?, la educación secundaria para adaptarnos al reto demográfico que eso significa.
Ah, sí, sí, sí.
Nuestra tasa de cobertura en educación superior es una tasa baja, incluida educación técnica llegamos al 49%, la meta de este gobierno es lograr aumentarlo casi 12 puntos en ese terreno, pero vamos a tener siempre el problema de la pertinencia educativa. ¿Para qué lo hacemos? ¿Sí? ¿Qué sentido cobra? ¿Cómo logramos actualizar los contenidos educativos? ¿Y cómo logramos vencer una brecha gigante que tenemos? Según las recientes encuestas de la Asociación Nacional de Industriales, el 82% de las personas que están saliendo del sistema educativo colombiano no tienen las capacidades para ejercer sus trabajos en el mundo laboral. Y eso se ahonda con profundas tasas de desempleo en el segmento de la juventud que llegan hasta el 26% si usted es mujer. Ay, perdón. Esta es la otra dificultad, y esta es una imagen muy cruda de cómo la guerra hace apenas 21 años ya afectaba a las aulas escolares, y esto no es una zona rural, esto es Medellín, que es la segunda ciudad del país, y cómo las escuelas se volvieron botines de guerra, ¿sí?, en ese terreno. Nosotros tenemos el deber moral, el deber ético de construir una mirada en el presente que nos permita construir un futuro en paz desde la escuela, de sacarla del conflicto, pero también de sacar a los niños de la posibilidad del conflicto. Y eso solo se construye con una visión de desarrollo integral. Cuando hace recientemente nosotros estábamos en una visita precisamente en Corea, nosotros les señalábamos que parte de lo que más nos ilumina y lo que más nos alegra de poder hacer un acuerdo con ustedes es que el gobierno coreano también ha hecho relaciones con el Ministerio de Desarrollo Rural colombiano. Nosotros creemos en las soluciones integrales, ¿sí? En los países pobres nos toca creer cómo solucionamos los problemas con mayor multilateralismo y mayor cooperación en ese marco. Tenemos tres retos determinantes en ese terreno, ¿sí? Nosotros tenemos un país mayoritariamente urbano, 78% urbano, pero nosotros tenemos un país territorialmente 80% rural. Tenemos alrededor de 32 millones de hectáreas cultivables en el país. Hoy vamos a afrontar el primer reto, que es la democratización de la tierra en Colombia, y en eso la educación tiene que ser pertinente y clave en ese marco. Entonces, el primer reto que tenemos, y por eso agradecemos mucho que los experimentos innovadores sean en municipios fundamentalmente rurales. Lo primero es activar la educación rural post-COVID. La educación en el periodo COVID, la educación rural estuvo prácticamente paralizada, y los resultados de las pruebas saber y los resultados de las pruebas estandarizadas señalan como hay un retroceso casi de 12 puntos en las áreas de matemáticas y casi de 16 puntos en las áreas de comprensión de lectura, ¿sí?, con respecto a los aprendizajes. Nosotros tenemos que reactivar ese mecanismo, y tenemos que reactivar lo que significa buscar conectividad, buscar mejores prácticas educativas en ese terreno, hacer la renovación de modelos escolares que se aplican en zonas apartadas como la escuela nueva, mejorar los procesos de seguimiento para evitar la deserción educativa, pero también vincular los modelos educativos a la transición rural que nosotros estamos haciendo y a construir el desarrollo rural que nosotros necesitamos. Y en ese marco nosotros tenemos que encadenar nuestra apuesta por la transformación del campo en el mundo rural. Y lo tercero, que es una cosa que parece del espíritu, ¿sí? Y es lograr instalar en el alma de todos los niños colombianos, ¿sí? Y en el alma de todos los jóvenes colombianos, que tenemos que cumplir el primer mandamiento. No matarás, por ninguna razón. Por ninguna razón. Hay que quitarle el oxígeno tanto a las bandas criminales que están reclutando a nuestros niños, ¿sí? Y hay que quitarle el oxígeno al atraso y al subdesarrollo, ¿sí? Y hay que ponernos a nadar en una posibilidad de construir un ambiente de desarrollo integral. Les muestro las cifras. En 1970 nosotros éramos países iguales y ustedes hicieron una apuesta específica por el desarrollo de software, de sociedad del conocimiento, de desarrollo de semiconductores, desarrollo de una industria a partir de modelos de integración familiar con el sistema educativo, ¿sí? Y nos cogieron una brecha gigante en ese marco, ¿sí? El primer punto para hacerlo para ustedes fue reforma agraria, encadenamiento productivo y desarrollo de industria con sustitución de importaciones. Hoy nosotros no podemos hacer sustitución de importación. El mundo en el que vivimos no nos da para tanto. Sí, en ese marco de la política proteccionista. Pero la principal disyuntiva del mundo actual existe es entre globalismo y soberanismo. Y se está reorganizando el mundo económicamente. Nosotros agradecemos el marco de cooperación porque nos da una salida hacia Asia, pero también porque nos puede dar la experiencia de construir bloques y acuerdos económicos y relaciones educativas de una forma mucho más igualitaria y que recorra experiencias para el desarrollo de la capacidad. Colombia tiene una posibilidad enorme porque el principal debate económico actual es cómo reorganizar las cadenas productivas, cómo hacer nearshoring, cómo instalar capacidades productivas en el continente y cerca de las potencias, cómo reintegrar las relaciones entre el continente. Y tenemos que aprovecharlas. Esto era un poquito lo que les mencionaba del mundo rural, mientras ustedes tienen muchas hectáreas cultivables y cultivables, muchísimas menos. Nosotros tenemos 32 millones de hectáreas cultivables, 16 de eso las tenemos focalizadas en el desarrollo del mercado ganadero. Nosotros tenemos un promedio de 2 vacas por hectárea en Colombia. Ustedes son muchos. Es más, podía estar peor porque estaba devastado en la guerra. Hoy nosotros necesitamos usar un poquito de ese espíritu por salir de la guerra, construir orgullo, representar una salida para la paz y tener la voluntad de construir un modelo de desarrollo nacional que sea capaz de integrarse al mundo. Entonces tenemos tres retos. Tenemos cuatro retos grandes que nosotros nos hemos instalado. Lo primero es que queremos que los niños se choquen con la posibilidad de mejorar sus conocimientos en matemáticas, comprensión lectora, y que se choquen con la posibilidad de aprender programación en la escuela pública colombiana. Es una escuela muy desigual que tiene problemas, pero nuestra meta es que al final del gobierno tengamos por lo menos 100.000 niños de los 9 millones de niños que tenemos que sepan programar y hayan aprendido a programar el lenguaje Python en el mundo. Y que logremos hacer experimentos con el mundo productivo, no solo correlacionarlos con eso, para que en el mundo productivo podamos apoyar el desarrollo de una nueva industria. Sí, hay que crear el capital humano, pero aparte de crear el capital humano, hay que construir los encadenamientos en el mundo productivo y hay que fortalecer el espíritu, el alma de que nosotros podemos ser una nación grande en ese terreno. Lo segundo, queremos que Colombia sea uno de los líderes en recursos educativos abiertos. ¿Sí? ¿Qué son los recursos educativos abiertos? Pueden ser modificados en el aula, que pueden ser transformados y adaptados territorialmente, y nosotros tenemos toda la capacidad para ser los líderes latinoamericanos en este marco y también para construir un modelo de integración adaptada en países en posconflicto. Lo tercero, tenemos que acabar una guerra, tal vez la guerra más grande que tenemos en el mundo productivo, la guerra del mundo de la escuela y con el mundo de la producción y de la empresa. Y
Para los que somos colombianos y somos egresados de universidad
pública, eso
pública,
a veces
eso
suena
a veces
complejo.
es
Pero desde la
pero desde la
universidad
universidad
pública
pública
y
y
desde
desde
el
el
colegio
colegio
que construir
tenemos
los
que
caminos
construir
de
los caminos de
integración, porque si
integración,
no es
porque si no es
imposible construir la
construir la
capacidad que nosotros
capacidad
tenemos para dar un
para
gran
dar un
salto
gran
adelante.
salto adelante.
Es
Es
imposible hacerlo.
imposible hacerlo.
Hoy
Hoy,
los grandes
los
modelos
grandes modelos
productivos se
productivos
debaten
se
entre
debaten entre
automatización,
automatización,
inteligencia
inteligencia
artificial,
artificial,
política de
política de
datos,
datos,
eh,
procesos
procesos de
de
desarrollo e
desarrollo e
integración en
integración en
sociedades del
sociedades del
conocimiento.
conocimiento.
¿Sí? Y
¿Sí?
nosotros
Y
nos
nosotros
toca
nos
dar esos
toca dar
pasos
esos pasos
acelerados.
acelerados.
Cuando uno se
Cuando uno se
tarda tanto en los
tarda tanto
pasos
en
de
los pasos de
la
la
historia
historia
siempre
siempre
la
le
va a
va
pasar
a
por
pegar
cachetada.
abajo.
Y nosotros no
Planear
territorialmente
territorialmente los modelos
que les
educativos que
permita
les
ser
permita
mejores
hacer
en
mejoras en
escuelas, que les
escuelas, que
permita
les
hacer
permita hacer
focalización
focalización
de niños en
de niños en
enseñanza
enseñanza,
fundamentalmente de
fundamentalmente de
matemáticas
matemáticas
y habilidades para el
para el
desarrollo,
desarrollo,
para el desarrollo
para el
productivo.
desarrollo
Nosotros
productivo.
necesitamos
Nosotros
hacer esa
necesitamos hacer esa
planeación y
planeación
lo estamos
y lo
haciendo
estamos
por
haciendo
primera
por
vez.
primera vez.
La Oficina de
La Oficina
Tecnología
de
junto con la
Tecnología
Oficina
junto
de
con la
Innovación
Oficina de
del
Innovación
Ministerio
del
de
Ministerio de
Educación
Educación
va a hacer
va a
un
ser
data
un
lake
data lake
completo
completo
del modelo
del modelo
educativo
educativo
colombiano
colombiano
para lograr
para
hacer
lograr hacer
la mejor
la
planeación
mejor
posible.
planeación
Pero
posible.
necesitamos los
Necesitamos
profesores y nos
y
toca
nos toca
ganarnos la
ganarnos la
legitimidad,
legitimidad,
ganarnos el
ganarnos
cariño
el cariño
en ese terreno
en
de los
este terreno de los
profesores
profesores
para que nos
para
ayuden
que
a
nos
guiar
ayuden a
un modelo
guiar un modelo
educativo cada vez
educativo
más
cada vez
basado en
más
datos,
basado en
cada
datos,
vez más
cada vez
basado
más basado
en menos
en menos
percepciones y más
percepciones y más
realidades para
realidades
lograr
para
tomar
lograr
decisiones
tomar
efectivas de
decisiones
política
efectivas de
pública.
política pública.
Nosotros somos una
Nosotros somos una
nación
nación
de
de
desarrollo
desarrollo
medido
medido.
en un sentido
En un
estricto. El
sentido estricto, el
presupuesto nacional
presupuesto
es
nacional
alrededor
es
de
alrededor de
320 billones de
320 billones
pesos,
de pesos,
es decir,
es
estamos
decir,
hablando
estamos hablando
alrededor de
alrededor
80
de
billones
80
de
billones de
dólares
dólares
en ese, en ese
en
marco
ese marco
de
en ese
ideas.
marco de ideas.
Con eso a
Con
nosotros
eso
nos
a nosotros
toca
nos toca
decidir qué hacer,
decidir qué hacer,
decidir qué hacer.
decidir qué hacer.
Nosotros no
Nosotros
podemos
no
hacer toda
podemos
la
hacer
apuesta de
toda la apuesta
desarrollo
de
porque
desarrollo
somos una
porque
nación
somos una nación
aún
aún
empobrecida.
empobrecida.
Y uno de los
Y uno
marcos
de
que
los
nosotros
marcos que
tenemos que
nosotros
hacer es
tenemos que hacer
no
es
solo
no solo
mejorar el uso de los
mejorar el uso de los
recursos
recursos
económicos,
económicos,
sino ver dónde
sino
vamos
ver
a
dónde
colocar
vamos
la
a colocar
esperanza
la
de
esperanza
Colombia.
de Colombia.
Nosotros profundamente creemos que
Profundamente
es en el
creemos que es
sistema
en el sistema
educativo, pero
educativo,
¿cómo?
pero ¿cómo?
Mejorando la
Mejorando la
planeación,
planeación,
mejorando la
mejorando la
relación
relación
de la
de
escuela
la
y
escuela y
mejorando
mejorando
fundamentalmente la
fundamentalmente la
articulación con el
articulación
mundo
con el
real
mundo real
que tiene el
que
mundo
tiene el mundo
educativo.
educativo.
La inequidad
La equidad.
de nuestro sistema educativo.
Screen.
Si usted
Si usted
es un joven de
un
clase
joven de
media,
clase media,
como cualquier
como cualquier
otro joven de
otro
clase
joven de
media,
clase media,
tienen la
tiene la
probabilidad de
probabilidad
tener
de tener
16 puntos de
16 puntos de
diferencia en
diferencia
las pruebas
en las pruebas
estandarizadas
estandarizadas
en
en
matemáticas en
matemáticas en
comparación con un
comparación con
niño
un niño
de un
de
colegio
un colegio
público de
público
estrato
de
1,
estrato
es decir,
1,
de una
es
clase
decir, de una
popular en
clase
Colombia.
popular.
Esto no nos
Esto no
debería
nos
dejar
debería
dormir
dejar dormir
tranquilos.
tranquilos.
Nosotros tenemos
Nosotros
un
tenemos un
sistema
sistema
de 9
de
millones
9
trescientos
millones
mil
300
niños,
mil niños,
7 millones
7 millones
800 mil que
800
viven
mil
en
que
el
viven en
sistema
el sistema
educativo público.
educativo.
Y esto
Y
debería ser
esto
nuestra
debería ser nuestra
pesadilla,
pesadilla,
¿sí? Acabar las
acabar las
desigualdades en el
desigualdades
aula,
en el aula,
impedir que el
impedir
lugar
que el lugar
donde tú
donde
naces
tú naces
determine tu vida,
determine tu vida.
lograr que
Lograr
nuestros
que
niños no
nuestros
solo
niños
sueñen
no solo
hoy con
pueden
subsistir, sino puedan
hoy
soñar en aprender
subsistir, sino puedan
astrofísica,
soñar en
puedan soñar en
aprender
aprender física
astrofísica,
cuántica,
puedan soñar en
puedan soñar
aprender
en
física
aprender
cuántica, puedan soñar en
matemáticas
aprender
complejas,
matemáticas complejas,
podamos incentivar y construir un
podamos
modelo
incentivar y
que desde
construir
el
un modelo
colegio hasta
que
la
desde el colegio
universidad
hasta la
tenga la mayor
universidad tenga
característica de
la mayor
gratuidad posible,
característica de
pero
gratuidad
sobre
posible,
todo
pero
que
sobre
no
todo que
tenga
no
límites,
tenga
que
límites,
enseñe a
que
nuestros
le
niños
enseñe
que
a
hoy las
nuestros niños
fronteras del saber
que
no
no
existen,
existen,
¿sí? Que se puede
que se
construir
puede
capacidad
construir capacidad
productiva, que se
productiva, que
puede
se
soñar en
puede
ese
soñar en
marco
ese
y que
marco,
el lugar
y que el
donde tú
lugar donde
naces,
tú
la
naces, la
vereda
vereda
en la ciudad,
en
en
la
el
ciudad,
lugar
en
más
el lugar más
inhóspito
inhóspito
o el barrio
o el
popular
barrio
más
popular más
violento
violento
no
no
es una
es una
frontera para que
frontera
tú no
para que
puedas
tú no
tener
puedas tener
esperanza,
esperanza.
¿sí?
¿Sí?
Ahí tenemos
Ahí tenemos
vidas que
vidas que
esperanzar,
esperanzar,
vidas que
vidas
salvar,
que
pero
salvar,
también
pero también
retos.
retos.
Nosotros no
Nosotros
podemos
no
vivir
podemos vivir
tranquilos,
tranquilos,
no podemos
no
vivir
podemos vivir
porque nadie está bien.
tranquilos.
Y para que
Y
veamos
para que
en qué
veamos
lugar
en qué
estamos,
lugar estamos.
porque estas son como la
Estas son
línea
como la
básica
línea
que nosotros
básica que
tenemos que
nosotros
comenzar
tenemos que
nuestros
comenzar
retos.
nuestros retos.
Mientras la
La
República
República
podría
podría
ser
ser
el país
segundo país en el desarrollo de matemáticas de habilidades matemáticas
en las pruebas
en las
PISA,
pruebas
es decir,
PISA,
un
es
país que
decir, un
estaba
país
hace
que
30
estaba hace
años
30
con
años
nuestro
con
mismo
nuestro
Producto
mismo
Interno
Producto
Bruto.
Interno Bruto.
Hace 30
Hace
años,
30,
40 años,
40
no se
años,
hace
no se
nada de
hace
esto.
nada de esto.
¿Sí? Nosotros somos
Nosotros somos
el tercer país conectado a Internet y después de la pandemia empeoró. Sí. Es importante aprender habilidades matemáticas el día de hoy, porque el mundo se está debatiendo en la automatización, en la planeación, en el desarrollo de
en el
inteligencias
desarrollo de inteligencias
artificiales y su
artificiales y
capacidad
su
de desarrollo y
capacidad de
conexión
desarrollo y
lógica
conexión
en ese
lógica
marco.
en ese marco.
¿Dónde tenemos que
¿Dónde
centrar
tenemos que
nuestros
centrar
pilotos de
nuestros pilotos
innovación
de innovación
educativa?
educativa?
En la enseñanza de
La enseñanza de
matemáticas y que
matemáticas
nuestros
y que
niños
nuestros niños
aprendan a leer.
aprendan a leer.
Leer para aprender
Y
aprender para leer. ¿Sí? Necesitamos que aprendan a leer para que aprendan. ¿Sí? Y esa es una meta determinante. Y lo que vamos a hacer en la oficina de innovación va a ser premiar a los mejores pilotos de innovación educativa para tratar de generalizarlas. ¿Sí? En ese marco. Generalizarlas. Hay muchos profesores y muchos niños en nuestras aulas, en colegios rurales, en colegios públicos urbanos que hacen milagros. Que hacen milagros. Queremos que ese milagro se generalice. Que sea como las Sagradas Escrituras cuando Moisés las lee frente al mundo. ¿Sí? Ese sacrificio nosotros tenemos que reportarlo en el aula y generalizarlo lo más posible. Porque los sistemas educativos no solo viven del presupuesto que nosotros le generalizamos, sino del espíritu. Viven también del espíritu y de la voluntad de mostrar ese marco. En desarrollo de ciencias estamos un poquito menos. Un país que tiene la selva con mayor biodiversidad del mundo. Un país que tiene 5 documentos de planeación de política pública, ¿sí? Sobre biogenética. ¿Sí? Un país que es el segundo país más diverso del mundo y con mayores fuentes hídricas. Y nuestros conocimientos de ciencia son los segundos peores de la Organización para la Cooperación y el Desarrollo Económico. Hay que tumbar la puerta entre la realidad y la escuela. Uno no puede tener esa biodiversidad, esa capacidad de desarrollo de productos biogenéticos, ¿sí? Esa capacidad de ejemplificar fenómenos frente al cambio climático y demás, y tener esos resultados. No podemos. Y no podemos dormir tranquilos. Entonces, acá vamos a hablar de los mínimos por los cuales nosotros nos vamos a esforzar, con la poquita plata que nosotros tenemos, pero con el alma que nosotros tenemos. Conectividad de alta velocidad para todos los colegios del país. ¿Sí? Esa es la condición básica. Que los niños tengan no solo computadores, sino conexión universal, ojalá a través de sus celulares. Segundo, conocimientos en matemáticas. Y esto, en esto tenemos que ser claros. Nuestros profesores de matemáticas deberían ser los mejores profesores de este país. Tercero, mejorar las habilidades
kandi igihe cyose urumuri ruza nirwo rwakekora rwinshi
Hay que repetirlo como si
kwifotoza
estuviéramos hablando de la Biblia, como si estuviéramos hablando en un sermón específico.
uteye umugongo izuba ifotiza nabi.
La primera condición que nosotros tenemos que
ariko iyo
desarrollar
wowe wenda iyo uri kureba izuba cyangwa se wenda izuba aba ari ryinshi cyane ujya nkabona nka nimugoroba riri kukumurika rero kamera iri kureba urumuri kandi icyo igomba gufata iki cyakora kuba kiri kurebwaho n'urumuri.
Creemos que tenemos la posibilidad como nunca porque este gobierno es un representante de los movimientos en este marco. Y seguramente ha sido la representación política del nacimiento de un nuevo sujeto social en Colombia. Hacer ese diálogo para ver qué vías vamos a hacer. En muchos años Corea lo hizo. La posguerra coreana fue en buena medida un diálogo entre trabajadores, campesinos, en el marco del desarrollo de empresas familiares para la transformación productiva. Y en eso les tenemos que aprender. Lo segundo, acelerar la velocidad del cambio de los modelos educativos. Nosotros no podemos tener un modelo educativo que para transformarse en 10 años, 12 años, que estamos cambia abruptamente con rapidez.
Wajya kuri ocean
para una visión común de una Colombia en paz en un nuevo orden mundial. Porque estamos debatiendo la reorganización del mundo y en eso tenemos que estar completamente conscientes.
Start. Our next speaker is Ms. Hwang Ye-seul. She is a Deputy Director of Digital Transformation of Education Division from Korean Ministry of Education. And she is joining us in forum online. And she will share the 2022 e-learning globalization project performance and development direction. Ms. Ye-seul, if you are ready, you may start the presentation.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. Buenos dias, mucho gusto. This is Ye-seul Hwang, Deputy Director of the Digital Transformation of Education Division, Ministry of Education, Republic of Korea. It is my great pleasure to meet you all, albeit online. Before beginning the presentation, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the Ministry of Education of Colombia and Institute of APEC Collaborative Education and many other officials. As mentioned in the opening and welcoming remarks, the pandemic has triggered inevitable shifts in most areas of the educational field. We struggled to prevent students from being infringed on their educational rights. Online learning came to the fore, and digital education is currently being analyzed in various aspects, including its possibility as a means to enhance equity and accessibility in education. Digital transformation is now one of the most noticeable topics in the educational field, and it is my honor to present in front of education experts regarding e-learning globalization. E-learning globalization project is a core project for the Korean Ministry of Education in international cooperation regarding digital education. Today, I would like to introduce the key elements of the project, including our vision, outcomes, and future directions. E-learning globalization project initiated in 2005 in order to promote the usage of information and communication technologies in education all over the world, and ultimately attribute to reducing the global education gap. Through the project, we could effectively meet the demands of partner countries of sharing our knowledges and technologies on education informatization. Moreover, we have become strategic partners for sustainable development in the educational field. Before we move on to the specific contents of the project, I would like to emphasize the vision and values that we endeavor to bear in mind. First, we believe that through the systematic ICT training and infrastructure support and knowledge sharing between the participants, we are contributing to the educational development and capacity building for the partner countries. Second, we aim mutual growth of Korea and partner countries through co-participation. Third, we reflect the educational system and policies and field demand of partner countries. Fourth, we intend to maximize the effectiveness of the project by involving experts in each field of Korean education, including teachers and edtech companies. Finally, we ensure sustainability through community-based activities. Now, I would like to explain about what program our project consists of. The e-learning globalization project consists of three main components. The first is ICT infrastructure support and teacher training. It contains innovative ICT integrated pilot classroom project, which is implementing future-directed classrooms in collaboration with our partner countries, reflecting Korea's accumulated experience and know-how in ICT education. In addition, Korean e-learning improvement cooperation, CLIC, is a bilateral teacher training program where leading teachers in the e-learning field get an opportunity to upgrade their capacities in digital education. Through Solar School Project, we are supporting implementation and utilization of solar-powered classrooms among Africa. The second component is capacity building of educational policymakers and students. APEC e-learning training program is the capacity building program for the policymakers of the APEC member economies. Moreover, we are carrying out national consultations on digital education through e-learning international consulting program and hosting the e-icon world contest, an e-learning application development competition for K-12 students. The final component involves hosting international events that can encourage innovative and creative discussions on the field of digital education. Every September, Korea is hosting EdTech Korea Forum and the EdTech Korea Fair. Especially in the EdTech Korea Fair, numerous technologies that can be adopted in classrooms are introduced. E-learning globalization project has lasted for almost 20 years. There are some meaningful outcomes that I would like to share with you today. To begin with, there are quantitative outcomes. In ICT infrastructure support and teacher training section, we trained more than 8,000 teachers and supported more than 40,000 ICT equipment through the CLICK project. Through the innovative ICT integrated pilot classroom project, we implemented 32 classrooms in 21 countries. The Solar School was implemented in 12 countries in Africa. Next is a section of capacity building of educational policymakers and students. Through AELT program, nearly 1,000 policymakers had an opportunity to develop digital education policymaking capacities. 25 national consultations on e-learning and digital education policies were made. We have also held the e-icon World Contest for 11 consecutive years, and the total participants sum up to more than 1,000 students. The final section is the hosting of the international events. Around 17,000 people took part in the EdTech Korea Forum, and more than 30,000 participants visited last year's EdTech Korea Fair that was held face-to-face. Currently, the e-learning globalization project is playing an important role as a channel between Korea and partner countries for exchanging each country's current state and future plans on promoting digital education, global trends, and ways to bolster international cooperation. Through 20 years of persistence, we have established a global network of about 30 partner countries and are willing to strengthen our cooperation. On top of the quantitative outcomes, we could also evaluate the project indirectly from interviewing stakeholders. A teacher in Colombia said that he applied artificial intelligence in class for the first time. After the training, he hosted a workshop with colleagues and created a digital-based curriculum for quality class. A policymaker in Indonesia said that the Indonesian teachers voluntarily composed the LEAD group, a group of leading teachers in the digital education field, and held a webinar to spread models of digitization in classes. The Ministry of Education and Culture of Indonesia will fully support LEAD Indonesia so that more students are able to experience high-quality education through technology. In addition, according to the Deputy Director of Colombian Ministry of Education, teachers who have developed their digital education skills through the project are sharing their knowledge and experiences to the rest of the country, and such changes are serving as a momentum for the development of teacher capacity building in the national level. Lastly, Director of Campo Verde Public School of Paraguay stated that through the innovative ICT integrated pilot classroom, Paraguayan students could finally experience the future classroom where they can develop future capabilities. Based on our experiences and progress, we aim to move forward and investigate ways to make more of the project. First of all, we will strengthen our vision on utilizing technology to enhance equity and accessibility in education. We hope that the project can contribute to open digital learning opportunities to students all over the world. Secondly, in order to reflect the rapidly developing technology trends in the educational field, Korea will transform e-learning globalization project to digital education globalization. The traditional method of e-learning is being replaced by advanced technologies, including artificial intelligence and augmented virtual reality. We will endeavor to incorporate up-to-date technologies and teaching methods into our project. The third keyword is global network. We will establish the global lead community between Korea and partner countries to build a self-sustaining system, and also arrange and strengthen the global network of policymakers through forums and events. We will also make use of online blended learning and communicating methods that were actively adopted in the pandemic and maximize the effectiveness of the project. Fifth, we aim to promote development by discovering and sharing best practices. Next, we are willing to support the growth and development of the edtech industries of each country. Finally, Korea wishes to expand the project's function as a global venue for exchanging and discussing digital education policies and visions. We strongly believe that opportunities like today, where we share each other's perspectives and learn from each other, are invaluable for building a future education together. This concludes my presentation. The Ministry of Education of Korea will always walk along with partner countries and cooperate for the sustainable development of global digital education. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Yesu Hwang, for your insightful presentation. Our next speaker is Mr. Yeshe Lendup. He's a Deputy Chief of School Planning and Coordination Division, Department of School Education, Ministry of Education of Bhutan. He is going to talk about the current status and challenges of education informatization policy in Bhutan. Mr. Yeshe, if you are ready, please share the screen and you may start the presentation.
Greetings from Bhutan. And I would like to take this opportunity to greet Happy New Year to all the distinguished guests and the participants. First of all, let me take this opportunity to congratulate Ministry of Education, Colombia, Incheon Metropolitan Office of Education, Ministry of Education, Republic of Korea, and the Institute for APEC Collaborative Education for successfully completing the innovative ICT integrated classroom in Colombia. I am Yeshe Lendup, Deputy Chief Program Officer who looks after the education technology in school education system in Ministry of Education, Bhutan. I will be sharing the status and the direction for the informatization policy in education system in Bhutan. So the outline of my presentation, so the ICT in Bhutanese education system, the journey, I share the plan that the Ministry of Education Bhutan has adopted, followed by the implementation of the policy and plan in terms of implementing the education ICT in education system. And I'll share our experience on the innovative ICT classroom that's established in 2 schools in Bhutan. The ICT in Bhutanese education system started as early as 1980s, and there wasn't much development till 2000. So few high school then had the computer science being offered, and computer labs are being established in few high schools then. In 1999, as we marked the silver jubilee of the enthronement of the 4th King of Bhutan, the internet and the television was then introduced to the nation. And as we introduced these 2 important technology in the country then started preparing for the knowledge-based society, and the government has then directed the Ministry of Education to start equipping the future citizen on the digital skills. So that includes the computer lab establishment in the high schools, offering of computer application subjects to grade 9. And then we didn't have a teacher to teach the ICT to the students. So government started training the in-service teachers in collaboration with one of the colleges in the country. And in the same year, in the same time, we also started training the pre-service ICT teachers. In 2007, the computer science was introduced for grade 11 and 12. Then in 2009, one of the multi-billion project was being initiated by the government called Chief and Repeal Project. Under this Chief and Repeal Project, of many components, Ministry of Education has three major components that are the establishment of the computer labs in all the secondary schools. ICT literacy curriculum was then introduced from grade 7 to 12. The basic ICT literacy skills were given to 5,000 teachers. This is in preparation to transform the country to the knowledge society. By then, as that project comes to an end, Ministry realizes the need to come up with a 5-year master planning process to streamline and harness the power of the ICT in the education system. So Ministry then developed the first education ICT master plan. We call it as I-SHARIC. So it ended in 2018. Not much have been achieved. So towards the end of 2018, we started reviewing the master plan 1 and we developed master plan 2. So at the moment we are in master plan 2. We call it as I-SHARIC 2. And as we planned and started implementing the I-SHARIC 2, the government prioritized and gave importance to the need to transform the education through ICTization. So government initiated a flagship project called Education ICT Flagship Project to transform the education through ICT, and at the same time to transform the nation in terms of ICT. The 2 ICT flagships were then initiated, the Education ICT Flagship Project and the Digital Rukil Flagship Project. The I-SHARIC 2 is now coming to an end, and we have now already started reviewing the impact of I-SHARIC 2 and planning and moving forward towards the development of I-SHARIC 3. The I-SHARIC, the very purpose of moving ahead with the 5-year master planning process, we do have the 2 important rationale. One is to harness the power of ICT as an enabling tool in teaching and learning. And secondly, since the investment in ICT is expensive business, so we wanted to strategize, rationalize, and streamline the ICT activities, systems, and projects in the school education system. The I-SHARIC 2 envisions to equip the youth with the competencies that are at par with the global competent, and even at the nationally they are being rooted with the pervasive and use of the emerging technology. The I-SHARIC has 3 strategic thrusts, which we call it as I-ABLE, that looks into building the capacity of the learners as well as the educator. And then we have the I-BUILD that looks into the integration of the ICT in the curriculum and making the ICT resources accessible to students through the infrastructure development and the development of the system. So I-SHARIC has 3 strategic thrusts, which we call it as I-ABC, I-ABLE, I-BUILD, and I-CONNECT. The I-ABLE looks into the capacity development of the learners as well as the educators. So under this, the projects are the development of ICT competency standard for the teachers and equipping the teachers with the digital pedagogy and skills and the competencies. In terms of learner, we really wanted to equip the future citizens with the 21st century skills, and that skills should be helping them to navigate in the fast changing and in the industrial revolution 4.0. And to take the ICT in the school education system, it's also very important to bring the support mechanism on board so that they understand the role of ICT. So through this I-Able thrust, we also wanted to enhance the competencies of the education leaders and the support services in the schools so that the teachers and students can harness the power of the ICT to strengthen or enhance the quality of education. The I-Build looks into the integration of ICT in the curriculum and also building the digital resources. The I-Build, as I mentioned, one is building their own digital resources, then other one, the curation and aggregation of the huge online resources that is available, which we need not have to invent the wheel again. Now in terms of iConnect, iConnect looks into the infrastructure and the system. The infrastructure that is supplies computer supplies to the school, strengthening the school network and taking the internet to the school. That is the infrastructure aspects. And in terms of system, we wanted to strengthen the EMIS, the Education Management Information System, and also develop the learning management system. So that is the part of the iConnect, the infrastructure and the system. Now, to implement the iSharik 2, it is basically, it's largely aligned to the 2 or 5 year plan, and majority of the funding to implement the master plan 2 came from the 2 or 5 year plan. As I mentioned in my earlier slides, the government prioritized the need to transform the education through the ICTization. So government initiated the flagship project called Education ICT Flagship Project. Further, to transform the nation in terms of the national ICT infrastructure, the government also initiated the Digital Drukil Flagship Project. So to implement the master plan, largely the funding came from these 3 programs. Now the implementation status of the master plan, we have completed developing the ICT competency standard for the teachers, and based on the competency standard framework of the teachers, we now have started training the teachers on the digital pedagogy. The ICT curriculum has been reviewed and is being now implemented as the compulsory subject from grade PP to grade 12. PP here is equivalent to kindergarten. Now it's being offered as the compulsory subject to all the students with major focus on coding. In terms of I-Build, the pandemic taught us a big lesson. So when the pandemic started, there were quite less digital resources in our system, and even the accessible to students were quite less. It gave us a big lesson, and now the Ministry of Education has initiated reviewing the curriculum, and wherever possible, the ICT are being incorporated in almost all the curriculum. We also have come up with the content repository that's available in the curriculum website. and those contents that are not available are being created and developed. In terms of iConnect, through the Education ICT Flagship Project, we have now established a computer lab in all the schools, and as of now, the computer student ratio stands at 1:9. Through the Digital Retail Flagship Project, we could take the optic fiber to all the schools. We have around 600 schools, and all the 600 schools are now connected to high-speed optic fiber internet connectivity. The Education Management Information System is again a very important source of data point. So we just recently completed, and it is in the implementation phase. And we are at least proud to have this robust EMIS, which a few years down the line, we are hopeful that it can give us a quality data. We also have developed our the learning management system, the local, it will be used by both the teachers and the students. The development part is completed, so we'll be soon training the teachers on how to use LMS, and they will then start using the LMS for the teaching learning. We are also supplying projectors to all the schools. This particular project is at the implementation stage, and all the schools will be getting a projector by the end of March 2023. And in terms of infrastructure development, through the support from the Ministry of Education in Korea, we also have started developing the ICT integrated classrooms in the schools. So this is the status of the implementation of the 5-year master plan that the Ministry of Education has initiated. The innovative ICT integrated classroom in Bhutan, it's being established in 2 schools, Dejin Choling Higher Secondary Schools and Loseling Middle Secondary School. Both the schools are located in the capital, with the support from the Institute of EPIC, Collaborative Education, and the Ulsan Metropolitan Office of Education. So it was inaugurated quite recently, and we are yet to see the impact and implement in our classroom. So if you look at it, you'll see it is from the inaugural of the ICT classroom in Bhutan. This is some of the pictures from the ICT integrated classrooms in Loseling Middle Secondary School, where the selected teachers are being trained. And if you look at, you'll also see students using the facilities in the ICT integrated classroom to learn mathematics. The picture here, a student is using a GeoGebra tool to study the linear equation in mathematics. The picture from the Dejin Choling Higher Secondary School, okay, the ICT classroom, and you'll see the teachers of 4 schools attending the training initiated by the lead teacher from the Ulsan Metropolitan Office of Education. Some of the impact by establishing these 2 classrooms in the 2 schools, we could see, especially the STEM teachers trying to use the ICT to teach the students, and also a lot of tools that are available online, and even the offline tools are being used by the STEM teachers to make the STEM learning interactive. And through this, the teacher their competencies in the utilization of ICT increases, and at the same time, the students are increasingly convinced that the ICT provides a lot of opportunities in terms of learning. Way forward, the facilities, since it was inaugurated quite late, so we couldn't actually optimize the utilization of the facilities. Going forward, these facilities will be still useful, and we'll use it for integrating ICT in teaching and learning. Secondly, since the equipment are of high tech, we are planning to use this one for virtual teaching, as well as the training rest of the teachers virtually from these two centers. This center will be also used for developing the e-content, and the virtual teaching can happen in two ways, the intra-school and then the inter-school. Currently, our country is facing some challenges with the teacher shortages, so we will be using these two facilities in conducting a live virtual teaching and broadcast to the rest of the schools that have teacher shortages. Some of the initiatives that Ministry of Education initiated were after a month being this after this two ICT integrated classrooms are being inaugurated, Ministry tried to replicate and re-establish in one of the schools again based in Thimphu, in the capital city. Although we couldn't take or replicate fully, but to some extent, we looked in some of the basic equipment infrastructure were being installed in the school, in that particular school. And we are also working on how we can take this kind of facilities to the rest of the schools in the country. And that's all from my side. And I'd like to thank Minister of Education Korea, IS, KLIC, and specifically to Ulsan Metropolitan Office of Education for helping Bhutan to transform our education through the informatization of the education system. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you, Mr. Yeshe, for your meaningful presentation. Before we have a next presenter, I would like to announce that due to the time delay, we will move right to the session 2 without break. Thank you for your understanding in advance. So our third speaker is Ms. Yeon Soo-hyun, and she is a supervisor of Creative and Gifted Education Division EduTech Education Team from Incheon Metropolitan City Office of Education. She will deliver the presentation with direction and visions of the ICT educational informatization of Incheon Metropolitan City Office of Education.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Soo-hyun Yeon from Incheon of South Korea. I'm in charge of digital education. I've been working with International Cooperation Program with Colombia for 3 years. It is a great pleasure to present today at an international forum. The topic today is about human digital education, which is being promoted by Incheon. The order of my presentation is as follows. First is the current state of South Korea's information education. What comes to mind when you think of Korea? Do you know well about Samsung and LG? Also, have you watched the Squid Game on Netflix? Do you know the songs of BTS? Korea is famous for contents such as drama, K-pop, games, and webtoons. These are all connected to the IT industry. How has IT been taught in Korean public education? Especially through experiencing the Korean financial crisis of 1997, Korea has invested heavily in digital education. So, Korean schools have been digitalized rapidly since 1990s. The first education digitalization plan was organized in 1996, which set up computer labs with internet access at all schools. In 2000s, Korean focused on ICT education, e-learning, digital textbook. In 2015, all schools were required to teach coding. And AI education has taken off since last year. Then what about Korea's digital rush? Do Koreans utilize digital technology as the world's highest smartphone distributed country with fast internet access anywhere? Surprisingly, according to the ICT utilization evaluation of PISA conducted on OECD countries during recent years, Korean students have received lower evaluation than the OECD average. Why did this happen? That is the result of Korea's education prolonged custom and culture. In Korea, traditional subjects such as Korean and mathematics are more important than ICT education. And schools are more focused on college admission. This is the challenge Korean education must overcome. Then, how has COVID-19 affected Korean schools? Korean schools are facing another challenge after the COVID-19 pandemic. Korea has conducted online lessons for 2 years due to the pandemic. However, differences appear in children's learning environment depending on family background. This caused the increase of the education divide, and the basic education level and digital capacity gap has increased further. Of course, all countries around the world also face this educational challenge. Overcoming COVID-19 very difficult, but it create opportunity for change. Central and local governments realize the importance of digital education. Also, the government's responsibility has increased. Very large budgets have been invested for the digitalization of school. Then, I'll present Incheon's digital policy. What kinds of city is Incheon? Let me introduce Incheon first. Incheon is located about an hour's distance from Seoul on the west end. It is the third largest city in Korea and a gateway city with the largest airport and seaport in Korea. There are 546 K-12 schools, 310,000 students, and over 2,000 teachers. It has a diverse environment that ranges from international city, island, and farm area. And the number of multicultural students are increasing. Hence, there is a wide educational divide. Incheon has also taken interest in digital education for future preparation since COVID-19. And in June 2021, the Global Education Forum for Future Education was held. Through the forum, students and teachers proposed conditions for digital education. Let's watch the video. there is some problem in sound. After gathering many opinions, we announced 3 policies. First, shoe battery is even more necessary after pandemic. Second, we must create a fair educational environment. Third, customized education is necessary for students to dream bigger. And we call these 3 subjects human digital education. We also make a TV commercial to promote human digital. Please take a look. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Human digital education comes first not with technology, but with the students' dreams. Then, what should be prepared for human digital education? There are several policies, but I want to talk about 2 of them. One is the equality of digital devices. The other is metaverse education. First, we provide 1 laptop for 1 student for digital infra equality. This was very progressive policy. The school had a device for 30% of students, but these were for share. Now, we make sure every student has a device for education, regardless of their home environment. The period is 4 years from 2022. The scope of application is from the 4th grade of elementary school to the 3rd grade of high school students. The budget is $2,300 million. Through this, students can read their learning more, apply edutech, such as big data and AI, and conduct coding education effectively. Please, video. Next page.
노트북을 사용해서 하면 어떤 게 좋은 것 같아요?
personal laptop class studio.
좀 노트북이 없는 수업과 있는 수업이 그런 차이점.
Please, next slide. Despite the huge budget, Incheon City is planning to supply laptops for 4 years to prepare for the future. In 2025, that goal will be achieved. To utilize the device, we provide various educational websites and online education contents. It is always free for students and teachers. An important condition for a school's digital transformation is the level of instructors. We make various efforts to improve teachers' competency. Training is provided according to the teacher's ICT level. Excellent teachers hold classes and present to others. Financial support is provided to teachers who want to study in ICT and artificial intelligence field. We are also focusing on coding for all students. Students in Incheon can receive various coding education programs at a nearby digital education center. We host hackathon contests for talented students and hold an annual digital education festival. I skip video due to time limit. Incheon is interested in the educational use of the metaverse. Due to COVID-19, the metaverse world has grown bigger and more developed. We expect the application of metaverse technology to education will be effective. We provide a number of metaverse services for students to experience virtually, such as dangerous or expensive job training or emergency. In addition, students who want to develop their metaverse world have opportunity to learn about tools such as Unity. Do you know Minecraft? This is a very famous metaverse game. Minecraft can be used a real-world problem-solving design tool. We apply Minecraft to ESG education. We gave students virtual maps and missions to solve problems. Skip video. Please skip video. This is the end of my presentation. Incheon only focus on the happiness and growth of students. Incheon will make more effort to develop digital education in other countries together. We have already exchanged with Colombia over 2,000 students over the first 15 years. I believe in the power of education to create a human-centered, sustainable society in the era of digital transformation. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Yun, for your meaningful presentation. We would like to apologize that due to the internet problem and the time delay, we couldn't watch the video inserted in this presentation. But when you scan the QR code in the brochure, you can see all the presentation material, and we will upload the video on that link. Thank you. And as I mentioned, we will move on to session 2. The session 2 is best cases and future plans for the operation, utilization, and management of ICT classroom. Especially in this session, we have very special guests from the other partner countries, which are Cambodia, Serbia, Guatemala, and Rwanda. They have been managing the ICT classroom for at least 1 year as a school principal. They will share the know-how and the best cases of the ICT classroom of utilization. The first presentation will be delivered by Mr. On Kun-rit. He is a principal of the Watbo Primary School from Cambodia. He will share the Cambodia best cases for ICT classroom, base class innovation, and disseminate training. Ms. On Kun-rit, I'm sure that you are in the Zoom, and are you ready for the presentation? If you are ready, you may start the presentation. Thank you, Mr. Onkunrit, for your presentation. On the next presentation, we will have a speaker from Serbia, Ms. Dragana Cece-Zijulik. She is the principal of the Philological High School in Serbia. She will be delivering the Serbia's best cases for ICT classroom operation and follow-up management. She will be joining through the Zoom. And Ms. Dragana, could you please do the screen sharing? And if you're ready, you may start your presentation.
Dear Ministers of Education, dear colleagues, school principals, education experts, and dear teachers, it is with great honor that I address you all today. It is a joy and pleasure to be part of this family of schools which all have the same goal, to prepare our students as well The classroom itself was designed in such a way as to enable and support cooperative and project-based learning, and it is most valuable when it is used in such a way. Here are a few examples of the particular classes based on cooperative and project-based concepts applied in several different subjects, as well as of the classes organized in cooperation with other educational institutions. English language class had a project called Organize Your Own Trip. In class, they were all given a computer with the following instructions. Each student was given a different destination, travel dates, and budget, and they had to find transportation, accommodation, and things to do upon arrival, and then make a short presentation. English language class played a mystery game at of the school year. Each student was sent instructions to their email with their characters, description and information. They used the computer to access the data, keep the document open, and have it for reference while solving the mystery. Each student had two opportunities to speak and present their character's point of view, ask and answer questions, discover clues, come to conclusions, and try to solve the mystery, as this game asks for a lot of improvisation regarding the language used. For audiovisual arts classes, guest lectures were held by the renowned Professor Dragan Dimoski from the editing department at the Faculty of Dramatic Arts, which is Serbia's largest institution of higher education in theater, film, radio, and television, and other performing arts. After the lecture, our students had training and were given tasks for editing the material. As part of the audiovisual arts classes, professional animation, experts from the Blink Animation Studio gave lectures to our students, after which the students had practical training. What do a church, a skyscraper, a fortress, and a monument have in common? They are all a part of the walk along the trail of medieval Belgrade. Art class students were given a route and had to solve tasks and answer questions related to the 29 points marked on the map. They recorded their impressions, observations, and findings, and gave their interpretations of important places and layers of the history of Belgrade. The final point that I will be speaking about today is classroom organization and use. I would like first to say that it is a great honor to teach in this classroom, and we are making sure to take good care of it and inspire all the students to do the same. Here are some of the key elements for classroom organization and use. There is a set classroom use schedule. There are a few open slots for extracurriculum activities, guest lectures, presentations, and projects. There is a printed schedule in the classroom. The classroom is locked with a special key. Eating and drinking is not allowed in the classroom. The school submits the ledger to IACE every month. It shows who uses the classroom and when and for how long, etc. Students are very impressed with the classroom. They feel and show more enthusiasm for learning. They feel more self-confident and mature. They are not afraid of making mistakes because they feel at home in this digital environment. As for the teachers, may consider it an amazing opportunity to have this type of equipment available. In general, the complete level of the whole educational process is on the rise. Before the training, some of the teachers were a bit reserved. By the end of the training, most teachers who went through the training asked to have classes in the ICT classroom. Our plan in general is to create a more ICT classroom-based curriculum. We hope that future teacher training session will give us knowledges and tools to implement in more diverse subject with more specific needs like physics, biology, chemistry, and music. We are planning to have more teacher training sessions in the ICT classroom in the future. We plan to be more open to nearby schools. As I have already mentioned, we have cooperated with other educational institutions by having their experts give lectures to our students and hold workshops in the ICT classroom. We are considering opening the ICT classroom to those teachers from other schools who are interested in ICT education and possible creating and implementing a specific project together. The more teachers go through the training, the more will feel free to use the classroom. It will be our honor to open our doors to any schools or teachers interested in learning how to use our classroom or possibly working on a specific project with them. First, we suggest that they organize mini workshops throughout the year for teachers. Second, the more capable and confident the teachers feel to use the equipment, the more they will use it. Third, it is a part of your teaching staff is a bit older and moving towards retirement. They may not be as confident at using the technology. Try to provide them with additional help or even have one-on-one training sessions. And the end. I would like to thank again the Korean Ministry of Education, the IACE and teachers from LEAD, Mr. Jinjo Lee, and my colleague Margareta Ljubisavljević Rodriguez. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Dragana, for your presentation. For the next presentation, we will have Mr. Marco Antonio Tapes. He is a principal of Escuela Normal Central School in Guatemala. He will share us the best cases for utilization of ICT classroom integrated training in Guatemala. Mr. Marco, are you with us? Mr. Marco, if you are with us, please do the screen sharing for us.
Marco Antonio, etapa principal de Escuela Normal Central para Varones.
Content. Content. Introduction. ICT classroom establishment. ICT classroom utilization. Impact. Impact of the ICT classroom project. 5. ICT classroom establishment from 2019. We received support from Minister of Education of Republic of Korea, Administration and Ministry of Education of Guatemala. Before the ICT classroom establishment. After the ICT classroom establishment.
We are sorry again. I think we have an audio problem in this presentation. So if it is okay, we would like to upload this presentation with the sound in the QR code that is inserted in the brochure. So we would like to move on to the next presenter, who is Mr. Father Faustin. So we kindly ask you to please wait while we are checking if he is ready on the presentation.
Presentation yanlış.
Our next presenter is Mr. Father Faustin Dusabimana. He is the principal of the St. Andrews School of Rwanda. And he prepared a presentation with the title, A Case Study on a Change of Educational Field Through the Use of ICT Classroom. So, Father Faustin, are you with us?
Yes, I'm with you. Honorable Ministers.
Can you share the screen for us?
Honorable Ministers, school principals, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. And Rwanda, we are in the evening. I'm very honored to be present during this forum and to have been invited to present to you our experience in the use of ICT classroom. The title of my presentation is a case study on the change of educational field through the use of ICT classroom. This is the content of what I'm going to talk to you, to present to you. First of all, I will talk about ICT in education policy in Rwanda, then ICT classroom establishment, then ICT classroom utilization, and positive impact for teachers and students on the fourth place. Then on the fifth, I will talk about future plans and expectations. ICT in education policy has started long time ago, but especially since 2008, the Ministry of Education has implemented the one laptop per child program in secondary schools and primary schools. And since 2016, now the government of Rwanda is implementing another policy called ICT in education policy, which is designed to ensure that technology is integrated in all educational processes. It means in preparation, in delivery of lessons, assessment, and research. So now, let me talk about the change of the educational field through the use of ICT classroom in Korea-Colombia, which is my school. I'll look at this in two phases, before 2018 and after 2018. Before 2018, the smart classroom was being built and it was inaugurated. Then after 2018, we are using the smart classroom in teaching and learning process. Before 2018, we have only 2 computer laboratories. Here you can see on the picture, one of them. And those computer laboratories was equipped with only computer desktops. And one of those computer labs was installed by using the system of N-computing, whereby many screens were used by one system unit. And the system, of course, had many problems, and the result was not good enough. So now, since 2018, the smart classroom was inaugurated, and we started to use it. Here we can see on the picture the smart classroom, which was built and inaugurated in 2018. And from this year, there was a revolution in the use of ICT in teaching and learning, because we had many educational activities that have positive impact for both teachers and students. Here on this picture, we can see our teachers being trained in ICT in education. It was in 2018. This is the continuation of the trainings, especially here you can see other teachers from other institutions, other schools coming to a school to attend and follow trainings and even meetings. This is a picture showing teachers from another school who came to our school in a study trip and to learn from our teachers, especially using ICT classroom. And with the use of ICT classroom, we had an opportunity to host other institutions that needed ICT services in ICT classroom. And we try to help them in various ways, including they could even use the smart classroom in online recruitment examinations. For example, the Ministry of Environment and the other ministries, they sometimes come and use our smart classroom in online recruitment examinations or trainings, or even hosting some competitions. Here on this picture, this is the training of our teachers, which took place in our school in August 2022. This is the continuation of the online training in last August. On the picture, we can see our teachers, the teacher with the students in the smart classroom. He's helping and assisting the students in math course. And with the smart classroom, our teachers had an opportunity to participate in an ICT classroom lesson demonstration competition, at the end of which they received this participation prize. So now the positive impact of the use of the smart classroom to teachers. First of all, as I was saying, our teachers, they received many trainings in different educational software, and they received some skills in hardware maintenance. Here on the picture, you can see a teacher maintaining this digital device. And this is now the picture showing how during the pandemic, the smart classroom was used for training on COVID-19 prevention in education. With the use of ICT classroom, now our teachers can create digital content, and with it, they can use it in teaching activities. And even our teachers, they can teach and evaluate online using the tools available in the smart classroom. This is another picture showing, we saw it previously. And here is a physics teacher delivering a lesson using the smart classroom, but we not follow all the video because it's too long. This is a teacher delivering his lesson, physics. Now let me talk about the impact of the use of smart classroom to students. What we can see is that we have more students choosing a combination with computer than before. We can have more students in math, physics, computer combination than in other combinations. And the use of ICT classroom has boosted student motivation and interest for learning. Here we can see on the picture students presenting the result of their research, and they do research using the ICT tools available in the smart classroom. And teachers and students, with the use of smart classroom, they can participate in online competitions and online meetings. And this gives them an opportunity to compete with other students from other schools, not only in Rwanda, but also in other parts of the world. Student performance with the use of ICT classroom, student performance national examination has increased. And we think that the role of ICT classroom is important in having those good results. And with students using the smart classroom, we are now having more students with ICT-based innovation. There is some students who created an ICT club, a robotic club. Some students created themselves a software for managing library, discipline, and timekeeping. And this shows how ICT classroom and the tools available in it are impacting their learning. And with the use of ICT classroom, now our students are open to more opportunities. As I was saying, with the possibility to compete using internet connectivity and the tools available, and they can learn and improve skills using the smart classroom. Here we can see our students being awarded because they performed well in those competitions. On the picture, you can see students now following an online conference in the smart classroom. Here is the continuation where teachers are helping students to participate in an online activity. This is the innovation of our students. This is a robotic club. They are with the students of other schools, and they are showing what they have innovated using the ICT classroom. And here you can see a robotic club and some people from outside coming in our school to assist them, and they are using the smart classroom. So that's it about the impact of the smart classroom to the teachers and to our students. Now I'd like to end my presentation talking about the school, what the school plans and what the school expect in the future. The school plans to continue to look for more effective trainings for teachers because they need more trainings in ICT utilization. We'll continue to support innovative students and teachers. And we will keep on expanding a cooperation with other schools through utilization of ICT. And we will continue to encourage teachers to digitalize contents and avail them online. We continue to host more public and private institutions which would like to use ICT classroom services and so on. So before I conclude, I would like to be thankful for all the people who support us. Especially, I'm thankful to the government of Rwanda in general, and to the Ministry of Education in particular for the support and the good educational policy which enhance the use of ICT in education. We are very thankful for the partnership with the Ministry of Education of Korea through its educational, through KOICA and its various educational projects like KD, IACE, and so on. And we are very thankful for the provision of new equipment, especially for those we have received recently, computer, laptops, and so on. And we are very thankful for the trainings of our teachers in the various digital skills. Thank you so much for that support. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you, Father Faustin, and thank you all the speakers in the session too. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for taking time on this forum. On session 3, panel discussion, we will have Professor Chung Jong-won, and he is a professor of Department of Education in University of Ulsan in Korea. He will be leading the following session as a moderator. For your information, session 3, if you are not the panelist, please turn off your screen for a moment and turn on when the session is over. Please refresh yourself and we will see you after 10 minutes. Thank you.
Great pleasure to meet you all, and also it's my honor to be your moderator in this panel discussion session. I believe that we already waited so long, so we'd like to have a concise but meaningful discussion in this session, through this session. In this session, we would like to discuss and share our insight and experience focusing on the developmental direction of ICT classroom project and finding areas for the further collaboration through this project. We have 7 discussants here, and let me introduce them again. Mr. Miguel Suarez from Colombia, and Mr. Eshe Lunda from Bhutan. Mr. Han In-soo, he is a supervisor at the Incheon Metropolitan Office of Education in Korea. And we also have 4 distinguished school leaders in Mr. On Kun Lee from Cambodia, Mrs. Dragana from Serbia, Mr. Marco Antonio Tepaz from Guatemala, and Father Faustin from Rwanda. For the efficient implementation of our discussion, I've already prepared 1 question for each discussant. based on your presentation and expertise. So let's start our discussion. My first question goes to the Mr. Miguel Suarez. I heard that there is a plan to apply the ICT classroom project into the Colombia's educational policy in the future. Could you please explain the plan of utilizing the ICT classroom into the Colombia education?
Bueno, primero los saludo de nuevo. Nosotros tenemos un interés, digamos, vascular en el desarrollo de tecnología y la inserción al interior del aula. En buena medida porque tenemos esa honda dificultad que yo les había señalado en el panel inicial frente a la enseñanza de matemática y sistemas lógicos en el marco digamos, de los sistemas productivos contemporáneos. Entonces, nosotros hemos intentado que la focalización de las aulas quede sobre lo que consideramos que está más retrasado en la cola, lo mejor de lo retrasado en la cola, que es educación fundamentalmente en zonas rurales, con buenos resultados y que tenga experiencias adelantadas en el desarrollo de propuestas pedagógicas por parte de los maestros. Nosotros tenemos una tradición, digamos, atrás, y es el desarrollo de la escuela nueva en medio de un proceso largo. En Colombia el movimiento pedagógico, es decir, el mismo magisterio, logró instalar estas lógicas. Y algunos de los resultados, 30, 40 años después, los estamos viendo en iniciativas, sobre todo en colegios rurales. Nosotros decidimos colocarlos allí, ¿por qué? Porque la capacidad del Estado y de las secretarías territoriales para insertar tecnología en los colegios urbanos es mucho más fácil, ¿sí? Es mucho más fácil, sobre todo en las 15 principales ciudades del país. Entonces estamos haciendo estos pilotos de innovación educativa y lo que queremos hacer al recibir las aulas es comenzar a vincularlos en buena medida a cómo nosotros pensamos la transición del modelo productivo en Colombia. Es decir, a cómo pensamos el proyecto de implementación de esa vieja meta que había dejado el acuerdo de paz que firmamos recientemente del desarrollo rural integral, de la lógica de cómo repensamos la transformación del campo y de la lógica de cómo pensamos la transformación pedagógica de la escuela, en los que siempre hemos considerado que son los últimos de la fila, que en buena medida son la educación rural. Nosotros tenemos más o menos en porcentaje de población en la ruralidad alrededor de 6 millones de personas. Esa es una cifra que no ha cambiado en los últimos 30 años, ¿sí? Aunque haya cambiado y variado los porcentajes. Entonces también nos toca pensar el modelo educativo para volver a ser atractivo el campo y repoblar el campo en una lógica de transformación. Y en buena medida la inserción de tecnología, la transformación del aula en los terrenos, la inserción de una nueva lógica de enseñanza con mayor pertinencia nos va a brindar ese contexto.
Yes, thank you very much. My second question goes to Mr. Yeshuli Lundap. Are you ready? Yes. As a deputy chief at the Ministry of Education in Bhutan, would you tell us about Bhutan Ministry of Education's plan to support ICT classroom established school teachers and students in this year? Do you have any specific plan to support them?
Thank you very much. From the Ministry of Education, especially to these two schools and also to the third school where we helped in setting up the infrastructure. The kind of support that we are already thinking of and where we are planning to help them is in terms of introducing the various tools, both offline and online, and especially to the teachers on how to use these tools in strengthening and making their teaching learning interactive and interesting. That's one plan that we are currently thinking, and we wanted to help the teachers of these three schools to build their competences and skills in utilization of this equipment. To the students, although we didn't support, but we were very much part of the one of the school, especially Teshin Choling last year in helping them to conduct the competitions among the students in terms of development of apps, in terms of even the creation of the videos. So through small fundings, we are helping them to carry out such competitions so that students take interest in ICT and coding. So these are some of the plans that we will be continuing to these three schools in coming year, and also in terms of exploring the additional resources so that our teacher and especially the teacher can make the teaching learning interesting, and that ultimately helps in achieving the quality education, as well as equipping the learners with the 21st century skills and competencies. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You mentioned very important factor that each school have a kind of different challenges and different context to implement and to manage the ICT classroom. So Minister Rebel, the customizing and careful support plan is very important for getting the build up the kind of the full capacity of classroom for their teaching and learning. Thank you very much. And Mr. Han In-soo, as I said, that he is a supervisor at the Incheon Metropolitan Office of Education. I'd like to ask that based on your experience and your expertise regarding the supervising and facilitating teachers' community practice for the professional development, do you have any advice for activating and developing the Colombian teachers' lead community?
Okay, very meaningful question. Hola, encantado de conocerte. Let me give you some ideas on how to activate the Colombia lead. I think the teachers' competencies and vision are very important in that they can affect the future of students. For this reason, teachers' exchange and cooperation through read will have a positive impact on the students' life, even on the people around us. The first step is to motivate the teachers participating in READ in Colombia to be proud of their roles in education field. Next step is to provide teachers participating in READ in Colombia opportunities to broaden their horizon and cooperate each other in the high-tech classroom. The change we make here is the start point of gaining our goals as educators, reaching the global citizens who can think and act cooperatively on the problems we face. And please remember that Colombia READ is always at the center of the change. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Han. Next question goes to Mr. On Kunlit. I've heard that On Kunlit.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I've heard that the
because,
two.
sorry, because my maybe my internet is slow, so I'm not turned on also my camera. Sorry too.
Okay, I understand. It's okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. My question is that I've heard that the two outstanding teachers from Wapo Primary School in Cambodia have participated in the online lesson demonstration competition in 2022. What have they achieved through this competition, and do you have any comments or ideas about this lesson competition in this year?
Yes. Thank you for answer. Yes, the teacher that in Watbo Primary School that has the online class demonstration competition in 22. Yes, we learn good experience and technical in the integration of ICT teaching. We learn about writing lesson plan and teaching in accordance with the lesson plan. We learn about splitting discussion group in ICT room to be effective. We learn and approve a lot. Thank Institute of APEC Collaborative Education APEC e-learning training center for giving us such a wonderful opportunity, support, guidance to participate. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your answers. Your answers prove that the ICT Classroom project gives us opportunity to implement innovative instructional method in your classroom. Thank you again. And Mrs. Dragna, you have participated in all the ICT classroom training sessions. So based on your experience, how do you think the ICT classroom training help the teachers to develop their competencies and skills? And do you have any comment or suggestion to develop a teacher training session in the future?
Yes, I wanted to take part in the ICT training for several reasons. First, before becoming the principal, I have been a Serbian language teacher for more than 20 years. I have always wanted to keep up with the latest technologies and methods and how to apply them in class. Second, I wanted to see how the training is organized so that when we organize future trainings for other teachers who know how to do it in the best possible way. It was highly beneficial for me to take part in the ICT training sessions. I think it is important to principals to understand the new requirements and skills that the teachers need to have in order to use the ICT classroom so that they can support the teachers in their learning process. The training helped our teachers learn to use the equipment and learn to use some apps that can use to create new digital materials and organize student activities online in class, to implement short tests and many other things.
Thank you very much. Based on my experience, the success factor, important factor of the successful implementation of ICT classroom project is leadership, school leadership. So Mrs. Dragna's case is kind of the very good example of how school leaders could facilitate their teachers to involved in this project and changing their mind and skills through this project. Thank you very much. And Mr. Marco Antonio Tapas, you have operated and managed the ICT classroom since 2019. Do you have your own know-how as well as difficulties you have experienced? Could you explain it, and could you tell me how did you overcome that kind of challenges?
Muchas gracias. pues, los conocimientos que nosotros hemos adquirido acá en este establecimiento es que hemos pues principalmente aprendido a utilizar una computadora. Y obviamente pues el término computadora es un término un tanto más amplio que simplemente conocer lo que tiene físicamente. Los maestros pues han dado la tarea pues de utilizar los dispositivos correspondientes. Y con la tecnología que se tiene acá pues se trata de mejorar siempre el conocimiento y el lenguaje de las computadoras. Facilitar también las presentaciones dentro de los conocimientos pues está facilitar los conocimientos que faciliten el aprendizaje de los estudiantes. También en cuanto a los conocimientos que se han adquirido, pues está la facilidad para utilizar el famoso Office, Word, Excel, todos los programas que incluye el paquete de Office. Utilizar correctamente la pizarra electrónica, creo que es un recurso en nuestro medio un tanto fácil de utilizar para el docente, ¿verdad? O para el maestro, ya que ahí pues ya no hay que estarse manchando las manos para escribir, ya no hay que estar utilizando un marcador que tenga tinta para estar derramando, manchando el piso y así sucesivamente, ¿verdad? Entonces, en ese sentido, pues ha sido un tanto amplio el conocimiento que han adquirido los maestros y la facilidad que han tenido para utilizarlo. En cuanto al espacio físico, pues también ha sido de gran utilidad porque nos ha facilitado a nosotros como directores o como autoridades de educación, pues llevar a cabo otras actividades extracurriculares, entiéndase capacitaciones al personal de los centros educativos de otros sectores, a personal que viene de otros centros educativos donde pues carecen de este uso de tecnología. Entonces, es algunos de los conocimientos que nosotros hemos adquirido acá con la inserción del aula virtual. En cuanto a las dificultades, pues las dificultades que se han tenido, pues es que como habemos docentes que ya somos un tanto viejitos, antiguos, y hay docentes pues nuevos, obviamente a los nuevos se les facilita más y a los antiguos pues se les dificulta en cuanto al uso de la tecnología. Pero nos han apoyado, que más adelante viene la otra parte, ¿verdad? Que sí, pues los maestros antiguos se les dificulta. Y que pues aún existen en nuestro medio algunos docentes que les cuesta utilizar las computadoras. Y el uso correcto, pues en este sentido del podium, es un tanto dificultoso para un grupo de estudiantes que también ha sido una parte de dificultad que hemos encontrado en cuanto al uso de la tecnología, pero sí ha sido muy buena. Y también pues, ¿qué hemos hecho? Dice, para mejorar esto, nos hemos dado a la tarea de poder capacitar al personal docente aquí internamente y también pues nos dan tiempo para poder facilitar el conocimiento a través de la misma capacitación que da Corea del Sur acá a esta escuela. Esa es mi intervención. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Thank you for sharing your experience, Mr. Marco Antonio Tepas. Thank you. Final questions goes to Father Faustin. What support should be provided at the school level to ensure the school teachers are aware of the importance of ICT and to expand the use of the ICT integrated teaching and learning method in their classroom? What do you think about that?
Thank you for the question, and thank you for having me on this panel. Teachers are key for the success of integration of ICT in education, in teaching and learning. That's why, for me, support needed at the school level. The first one is training, teachers training in ICT skills and in digital tools. Because those trainings will make them more comfortable with digital tools, and they open up their minds about what using ICT tools in teaching can bring to their work. And most of the teachers we have, for example, in Korea State, Andre, are 30 years old and above, and they didn't quite acquire enough ICT skills during their studies. That's why the digital world for them, and for some of them, they are strange. It's quite strange for them. And being comfortable with those tools is crucial for them to be able to utilize them effectively. The second support needed at school level is providing enough digital materials and equipment to the school, but also to the teachers. Because having the ICT classroom well equipped is important, but is also very important to ensure that all teachers have their own ICT tools, especially in those tools that can be used in everyday life. And for me, it is crucial and very important that teachers have their own ICT tools, like computer laptops, tablets, and the other tools they can need in their work. And this will make the use of ICT part of their everyday life. And once ICT will be part of their life, it will be easier to them to integrate it in teaching. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very important insight regarding the how to, how to make teachers more comfortable with the ICT tools, the importance of training and the enough infrastructure to give all enough opportunities to use them. Personally, I hope that through this project, maybe we could build not just only 1 or 2 classrooms, but someday we can build a kind of the whole schools with the ICT infrastructure through this project. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for all the discussants and the participants in this panel discussion. Although we have kind of the very limited time of sharing opportunities, but we hope that our experience and our insight give some chance to think about our way to build up this project more effectively and could make more impact on our educational practice between Korea and all other partnership countries. Thank you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, yes.
Thank you very much, Professor Jung, for leading the panel discussion. We have had the representative from different fields regarding the education and information and communications technology. I would like to thank you again to the 7 panels, as well as a moderator for the excellent discussion. Thank you. Before we bring the end of this forum, we do have a special session for closing remarks and group photo. So ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to invite Mr. Juan Felipe Nogas, the head of the Office of Cooperation and International Affairs.
Buenas tardes para todos y todas, señores funcionarios del Ministerio de Educación de Corea, del Instituto de Educación Colaborativa de la PEC, y de la Secretaría Metropolitana de Educación de la ciudad de Incheon, señores funcionarios del Ministerio de Educación, en especial de las oficinas de Innovación, Cooperación y Tecnología del Ministerio, respetados secretarios de Educación y sus funcionarios, señoras y señores. En nombre del Ministerio de Educación de Colombia y del señor ministro Alejandro Gaviria, quisiera expresarle nuestra más sincera gratitud al pueblo de Corea. Quiero agradecer a las instituciones que han hecho posible esta colaboración, al Ministerio de Educación de Corea, al Instituto de Educación Colaborativa de la PEC y a la Secretaría Metropolitana de Educación de la ciudad de Incheon en Corea, con quienes ya desde hace algunos años hemos podido desarrollar una nutrida agenda bilateral para fortalecer proyectos de cooperación en innovación educativa usando TIC. Como contexto, quiero contarles que la cooperación en materia educativa entre Colombia y Corea se ha materializado desde la formación de docentes e intercambios educativos hasta la apropiación y uso de TIC en el aula. Esta es una de las muchas acciones que hemos emprendido como gobierno nacional y gobiernos locales del gobierno de Colombia con la República de Corea. Corea siempre ha sido para nuestro país un referente mundial en materia de innovación, el uso de tecnologías de información y comunicaciones, y por eso mismo siempre ha sido un aliado y un amigo de nuestro país para materializar la apropiación de uso de TIC por parte de docentes y acercar a nuestros niños, niñas y jóvenes a la tecnología. Hoy celebramos la generosidad del pueblo coreano con Colombia, y gracias a esta donación de aulas interactivas permitirá que cerca de 4.300 estudiantes y 175 docentes de 2 instituciones educativas de Huasca, Cundinamarca y Pitalito, Huila, estén más conectados con el mundo, con la frontera del conocimiento, y un paso más cerca de poder ejercer una verdadera ciudadanía global gracias a la tecnología. Una de las mayores contribuciones de este proyecto de aulas innovadoras integradas con TIC es justamente generar oportunidades de aprendizaje con equidad y calidad. En particular, una de las lecciones que aprendimos de la pandemia, quizá de manera muy trágica, es que la brecha digital es un fuerte determinante de la inequidad educativa en nuestro país. Hoy nos enfrentamos a un desafío global y como país, que es la recuperación de aprendizajes y el cierre de brechas de habilidades. Este proyecto nos permite avanzar en dicha recuperación y la reactivación de las escuelas, pues se centra en la utilización educativa de las TIC entre docentes y estudiantes para construir ambientes de aprendizaje seguros e inclusivos mediante el diseño y operación de aulas TIC personalizadas y el fortalecimiento de las TIC por uso de los docentes. De hecho, quiero resaltar la labor y esfuerzo que ha realizado en los últimos años el gobierno de Corea, porque a pesar de las circunstancias como la pandemia, se logró llevar a cabo este proyecto. Ya han sido varios años de trabajo que hoy agradecemos de parte del gobierno nacional. Con la llegada de la pandemia afrontamos desafíos complejos que hoy siguen presentes, pero esta situación no fue suficiente para parar nuestro paso y pudimos dar continuidad al servicio educativo, donde se dio prioridad a la conectividad, que hoy nos permite estar aquí reunidos con delegados de países tan lejanos como Bután, Camboya, Serbia, otros no tan lejanos como Guatemala y Ruanda. Finalmente quiero destacar que Colombia sigue el camino de esfuerzo para fortalecer los procesos de transformación digital en la educación y la innovación educativa con la movilización de contenidos y recursos digitales para promover un ecosistema de innovación educativa que involucra a distintos actores de la sociedad, que transforma las prácticas pedagógicas, las competencias del siglo XXI y la cuarta revolución industrial como parte del pensamiento computacional, del trabajo crítico y creativo que queremos fomentar en los estudiantes, del aprendizaje activo y del enfoque educativo STEM, más las artes y las competencias digitales. Quiero reconocer la labor y el compromiso de las Secretarías de Educación y de las instituciones educativas de Huasca y Pitalito y los aportes significativos que han hecho a este proyecto. Son ustedes ahora los principales actores llamados a que la transformación educativa con estas aulas pueda darse. Su liderazgo y compromiso sin duda nos permitirá seguir trabajando por la educación de Colombia. Finalmente, quiero manifestar que el Ministerio de Educación sigue trabajando en la senda de cooperar en nuevos proyectos y procesos de formación docente para promover prácticas de innovación y de tecnología en el aula. Y estamos siempre muy agradecidos y dispuestos a recibir la experiencia y el apoyo que el gobierno de Corea ha mostrado generosamente con Colombia. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Mr. Juan Felipe Negos, for your meaningful words. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us the end of the 4 hours of journey, the Korea-Colombia International Forum on Educational Development. Thank you once again for those of you participating home and abroad, offline and online. I hope that the insights and ideas we've shared today will contribute to the betterment of the future education. This has been Jinju Lee, your MC, and thank you for all of the participants and distinguished guests for joining us. Thank you.